What's up, internet friends? It's Annika the Amputee, and today we're going to be talking about shoes and prosthetics. So in my last video, I asked for suggestions of more things I should do, and thanks to Broken Hearted Prepper, you asked about shoes, and I was like, yeah, that is something. I did make a video a while ago that was kind of like a everything video, so I'm gonna do one specific about shoes. In order to do this, I brought out several different types of shoes that you cannot see on the ground right now, but I am also going to be using a couple different kinds of feet because I understand that some feet work better than others and everybody has different prosthetic feet. So hopefully this helps, and if it doesn't, honestly, it's a lot of trial and error. Anyways, let's kick into it. Get it? Kick. This foot is the Oser LP Flex foot? Is this? No, this is the Oser LP Align. This foot actually has an adjustable ankle. If you look right here, there's a button that I'm struggling today. If you look right here, there's a button that you can press inwards, and then it allows you to move the pylon so you can do things like wear high heels. I like this foot kind of just as an everyday foot. It is a little bit heavy, so some people don't like that. It doesn't give back a lot of energy return. Anyways, we're talking about shoes. We're not talking about feet right now. Getting shoes off isn't normally too bad. Getting shoes on is the hard part. So let's start from scratch. The nice thing about prosthetic feet is I leave on a sock really until I don't need it on there anymore or there's too many holes. This sock has probably been on this foot for about 2 months. Because let's be real, prosthetic feet don't sweat, so what do I care? Now you may be thinking to yourself, Annika, why do you wear socks if you don't have to worry about sweat? Isn't that kind of the point of socks? Yes, but rubber also is sticky and it makes it a lot harder to put on shoes. So I will almost always put socks on my prosthetic feet unless it's something like sandals or high heels. Now these Pumas, I got these off of Amazon. I will try my best to link all of the shoes in this video in the description below, but some of these are honestly so old I don't remember where I got them. But I do know I got these off Amazon. They're super comfy, they're great walk-in shoes. They were much wider at one point. Anything with laces is normally okay for prosthetics. And I say normally because there are so many different types of shoes you never really know. The biggest advice I can give is loosen it as much as you can, especially at the top. If you loosen it, it's gonna give you a lot easier access. And personally, I never am wearing my leg when I put on my shoe. I will always take off my leg to put on my shoe. Typically, I'll put in the toe like this, and then I flip it over to the heel side, and I push at the heel, and now it's on. And then I can tie like normal. And now that's my shoe, and I put on my other shoe like normal. Cool, great, grand. Next, I'm gonna show you the easiest, this is my favorite shoe. It's not the most fashionable shoe, but this is the easiest shoe you can own as an amputee, and that is the Croc. Hello, this is future Annika editing the video, realizing that I didn't tell you what kind of foot this was. If you care, it is a Flower All Pro. It's a very low profile because I don't have a lot of clearance, but this is the Flower All Pro, in case you were wondering. Now, as we all know, Crocs come in 2 modes. Got sport mode, 4-wheel drive, and we got, no, this is not sport. Is this sport mode? I think this one's sport mode. Maybe the other one's sport mode. Anyways, we're in 4-wheel drive. This back flap is down. If we put it up, now we have more of a sandal. Here is the problem. Prosthetic feet don't stay on. There's nothing for them to grip on. If you try to wear sandals or flip-flops and nothing in the back, you're gonna kick them off in a total of like 4 steps. So Crocs have this already built in because, yes, I know, if you have a pair of sandals you love or a pair of flip-flops you love, you can always attach a strap to the back. But these are already built in. And just like the other side, we put the toe in first, and I always flip it over, push it down, and now we got Crocs on. And the other foot you can wear in 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, nobody's gonna question it. You have 1 foot. If anybody's questioning it, then they got other things to deal with. But yes, Crocs honestly should be like the sponsored shoe of all amputee related events and shoe wear, because whether you're an AK, a BK, these are the best shoes. Again, not fashionable, sorry. All right, earlier I did mention that this foot has an adjustable ankle, and that is great for things like heels. I will show you my heels. So with this foot specifically, you can wear up to 3-inch heels. Up to 3-inch heels, so they can be shorter. If you want them taller, I know some prosthetists who have made feet specific for specific shoes, but for just an all-around buy off the market foot, the Oser LP Align can go up to 3 inches, which is honestly really helpful. So what I normally do with this one is, one, I like having a very open heel, but still has a strap. Can you do it without the strap? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But with the strap, I put it in without adjusting the ankle first. I put it in without adjusting. And now you can see how forward my leg would be leaning. And then I press the button and try to make it as straight as possible. And look, I still actually have more room where I could go back even further. That's a little too hyperextended. And I kind of lock it in where I think it might be. Then I can put on the strap. And this strap is not going to be tight because pylon is much smaller than a normal ankle. But it keeps it on just enough that your foot won't slide around too much. And I have had it, I'm not gonna lie, I have had it where my heel slips off the side a little bit, but you feel it before it's happening. Anyways, now I would put on my leg and readjust for the comfortable angle, and that is my foot in heels. Yes. And now we're gonna get into a pair of shoes that I've actually adapted. So when I was still active duty, I had a organization come up to me and say, hey, I know you can't really wear your combat boots anymore because you're an amputee and prostheses don't go into combat boots. So they took my boot. This is a normal boot that I was wearing prior to my leg being amputated, and they took it to a cobbler to have a zipper installed in the back. Could you have put it in the side? Yeah, but this is what they did, and I didn't have a say. Anyways, so there's a zipper in the back, and this makes it really convenient because now I can take my foot and I shove it in from the back. Again, I flip over my foot, push it at the heel, zip it up, and look at how easy that was. This foot, the LP flex foot, any type of heel foot, is also really good for things like boots because this much heel makes a difference. And normally your body would adjust that. Prosthetic devices do not adjust that. So either you'd have to go in with an Allen key and adjust it yourself, or you can just press the button like I showed you earlier, adjust it, because right now it's actually a little bit far forward. It is also an option. I believe they are called cobblers. That's their official term. People who can put zippers into shoes and adjust shoes. And yeah. So don't discredit any of the shoes you had, because I think the biggest thing people worry about is, oh man, I lost my leg and I already have all these clothes, I have all these shoes, I have all this stuff, I don't want to just get rid of it. You don't have to. You don't have to buy new stuff. You can just get everything adapted, or you can buy new stuff, but that's your own choice. Some boots already come with zippers installed. They're more for a fashion statement, but it is very convenient to have them. And then there are also things to consider, like how pointy the shoe is. I've learned that because my feet, so if this is my foot, it can't really scrunch anymore because it's a prosthetic. I can't really wear pointy-toed shoes anymore. And for me, that's not a big deal. But if it is a big deal for you, I'd say your best bet is probably sizing up. I don't know, I'm not a fashion expert, I'm not a prosthetist. These are just things that I have learned. Oh, I do have one more very specific type of shoe to show you. Probably won't be relevant to anybody, but it's in my car anyway, so I'll be back. This is my snowboard foot. There are many like it, this one is mine. If you know, you know. This is a snowboard boot. Now, as we've learned before, boots and prostheses don't really match up. And also look at how much wider my snowboard foot is because of this shock. So I'll show you some things I did to my snowboard boot. And if you're a snowboarder, this is gonna be relevant. If you're not, it probably isn't, but maybe interesting anyways. So the number one thing I did was I took out the inner boot. I have done it where I actually cut off this entire middle part. These are Ride Sages, and this one actually was fine without it, but I did still cut off because there's normally, if I show you my other boot. So normally this is what it looks like. It has these extra strings to tighten the inner boot. I cut those off because I don't need them anymore. So what I normally will do is I will put this in here, and without the strings, this part's actually really easy. It's almost just like putting a sock on. It's very flexible. And then getting this into this is the hardest part. So the number one thing you want to do is, if you do have a boa system, which I do, unlock the boa and pull it out as far as you can. It'll stop, and then click it in where it is. And then now you can loosen it up as much as you want without it trying to collapse back on itself. And then plastic bags. I swear plastic bags will make a world of difference. This is like a trash bag. I don't even know where I got this one. You just go to the grocery store, you'll find them. Wrap the inner boot in the plastic bag, and then I put it in almost at an angle. Like, see how it's kind of at a weird angle? And then I push from the heel all the way down. And look at that. Look at how easy that was. And now I tuck in all this plastic because I don't like all this extra plastic sticking out. I think it looks weird. But try your best. Not the biggest deal, it's a little bit showing. Unlock the boa. Relock the boa, and now tighten to your desire. Since I can't feel this foot, I tighten it as far as it goes, really. And now you have a prosthetic in a snow boot. Snowboard boot. Obviously, this was the most difficult shoe to put on. So this is where the coupling system comes in. So I know I've made a video about it before, but because the foot's so hard to put on, I keep the foot inside of my boot. I don't really use this foot for anything else in the winter. I really only use this foot for snowboarding and wake surfing. So I can keep this boot, or I can keep this foot in this boot for the entire winter, and then I don't have to go through that process. And now I have a socket that I can switch out between all my other feet. Check out that video if you haven't yet, but this coupling system is honestly one of the best things about my prostheses. I hope that helps some of you guys with some of your questions about shoes. There are other options you can do. These are just shoes that were in my closet. I have had shoes in the past that are not the easiest to put on without a shoehorn, and even with a shoehorn it can still be a little bit hard. But honestly, I got rid of them because I don't have time for that. I don't have the patience for that. And if I'm changing out shoes pretty often, I want it to be easy for me and not feel like I need all this extra equipment if I'm not at home. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments what else you guys want to see. I do have a couple from the last couple comments that I'm writing down, and I do plan to do, so keep your eye out for that. But I really appreciate your guys' support. I know it's been a very hectic couple years on YouTube, but I'm trying my best, and this time I feel good about this. So thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.